Good day, everyone.
I was born and raised in Detroit. Growing up there, I saw people like me running things.
This is a courtroom, not a circus, so we're gonna calm down.
I'm sorry.
What I found there was a passion that I didn't know existed.
This is the bottom line.
I'm excited to free fall into the limitless possibilities with we the people. So many are fearful of the law. They think it's something that works against them.
I think you need to begin to accept responsibility for your mistakes.
We are the people.
Carrie Nye claims she was fired after her ex sabotaged her car and she was unable to get to work.
All rise.
Riley Paglia says he tinkered with the car to make sure it was reliable for Ms. Nye, and it's not his fault she got fired.
Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lauren Lake presiding.
You may be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello, thank you, Sean. Good day, everyone.
Good day.
This is the case of Nye versus Paglia. Ms. Nye, you are suing Mr. Paglia for $3,500. You say your ex tampered with your car and caused you to lose your job. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And the defendant, you say you're not responsible for the plaintiff getting to work.
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right, let's start from the beginning. So you all are exes. How long were you in a relationship?
A little over a year.
Why'd you break up?
Because this man is a child. He has no motivation. He's sits on the couch all day long. He doesn't do anything.
All right, so you weren't happy with the way Mr. Paglia was living his life.
That's correct.
You broke up with him, he broke up with you, or you all just decided it's best we go our separate ways?
I broke up with him.
Okay, and so you're saying now he owes you $3,500. What happened with this car? Take me to that day.
Well, we were in an argument about finances.
When you were in the relationship or after it was over?
In the relationship.
All right.
We were having another argument about finances, about our money, and he storms out of our house and just goes outside, messes with the car, and drives off. And 30 minutes later, when I have to go to work, it's a huge work event. My car won't start. It was obviously something he did.
So you think he disconnected something in your car?
Absolutely, he did.
And you were living together at the time?
Yes.
So when you realized your car wasn't working, where was Mr. Paglia?
That's a great question. I called him, I texted him, no response for hours.
And you were supposed to get to work?
I was supposed to get to work.
So how did you get to work?
I tried to call ride-share apps. None of those were working. My friends are...
Not one ride-share app in the world was working at that time? Were they not working, or that you couldn't get a car?
I couldn't get a car.
All right. So
we're in the middle of nowhere in the desert.
Where you lived?
Yeah.
Okay, and did you call friends and ask them to come get you?
All of my friends are in LA. That would have taken like 3.5 hours.
So what'd you have to call and tell work?
I had to call them and tell them I couldn't come in, and they were very upset at me because it was a huge event.
What kind of event was this?
It's like the start of a season at our bar, and we're having a live band. We expected...
What was your position at the bar?
I was a bartender.
So you had to tell them, I can't come in today because something's wrong with my car.
Exactly.
And they got so mad at you that then they fired you.
Exactly.
And you lost your job.
And I lost my job.
How much money did you lose?
Well, I have my pay stub right here for 2 weeks. And I made $1,750 in 2 weeks. So
that's the $3,500 you're suing for.
Exactly. I was out for 4 weeks.
So, Mr. Paglia, I'll give you a chance to answer.
Thank you.
Ms. Nye says you was a child, you weren't doing what you were supposed to do, but what you did know how to do is disconnect her car so she couldn't drive it and get to work at the bar, and she lost her job. How do you respond to that?
Well, we own the car together. It was our car. I think I have every right to work on the car.
How do you own it together? Both your names on it?
Yes, ma'am.
Who brought proof of that?
We don't have proof of that.
Were both of your names on the car?
They were at one point, but I eventually just gave him the car. I took my name off of it. I cut my losses.
Before or after you got the whole thing with the car getting turned?
After.
You took your name off after. So when it happened, you both owned the car?
That's correct.
All right, so you both were on the financing for the car. You bought it together? Okay. And so, keep going, Mr. Paglia. So the relationship was kind of going downhill, or was it only going downhill for her and you were just fine?
I thought everything was fine. I think that she moved out to the desert to move in with me, and things got a little rough, and she bailed.
All right.
And I'm kind of like the scapegoat.
Did you do something to the car?
Well, I did. The car was misfiring, so what I did is I had got in and I messed with the distributor cap to try to fix the misfire. I might have not put the cap on tight enough. I don't know, because I left. I didn't want to listen to the bickering.
How did you leave if you all shared a car?
Coming up.
So let me ask you this. If you were trying to keep her safe, then after you finished working on the car, why didn't you get in the car and try to take the car around the corner and make sure it was safe for her to drive? That's what man does.
I wanted to get away. She was yelling at me about money and my job.
And later.
She offered to help, which you would think is nice, but I just soon realized I was one of her projects she likes to take up.
Oh, Lord.
If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. You're watching Emmy-nominated We the People with Judge Lauren Lake. We're back with a dispute between Carrie Nye and Riley Paglia over a car repair gone wrong.
I own a motorcycle.
Okay, so you left on your motorcycle.
Yes, ma'am.
So it just so happened, and did you know she had to get to the bar that day? You knew her work schedule.
I did. Yes.
And so you just decided to play around with the car.
Convenient.
I wanted to keep her safe. I knew there was something wrong with the car, so I started messing with it. I didn't realize that I had not put things back together.
So let me ask you this. If you were trying to keep her safe, then after you finished working on the car, why didn't you get in the car and try to take the car around the corner and make sure it was safe for her to drive? That's what man does.
I wanted to get away. She was yelling at me about money and my job, and I couldn't handle it. And
You ain't making no sense, Mr. Paglia. You did not take that car apart to make sure she was safe. Because if you were going to make sure she was safe, when you put it together, you would have made sure all the caps were on and you would have made sure it was driving correctly. That is illogical, what you're talking about. That all of a sudden I wanted to make sure she was safe, but then I just took off on my motorcycle because she was just getting on my nerves. You sound about just like what she described.
Thank you.
How does that make sense? Did you take the car apart to make her angry so she would miss work?
No, ma'am. I would never.
Did you take the car apart so she couldn't go anywhere, she couldn't leave you?
No, ma'am. Not at all. I would never want that to happen to her.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense.
I wouldn't want maliciously to go out and. She's giving me too much credit. I'm not that guy who tried to figure out a way to get her fired. It doesn't even make sense.
So what's your point? What did you do to the car to ensure her safety, but then never checked to make sure it was safe to drive? And then in open court say, I maybe took the cap off or something.
It's not my responsibility.
Does that sound like a man that's making sure somebody's safe?
And not respond to my calls or texts for hours?
Make this make sense, because what you're saying doesn't work. I'm going to give you one more try, and then I am just going to award Ms. Nye $3,500. Why did you decide to work on the car right before she had to go to work?
I was trying to blow off steam. I didn't want to take it out on her, and she's always bickering about money and my job and this and that, and I own the home.
And you keep talking about she's bickering, which is leading this court to believe that you were furious after the argument.
That's how I blow off steam. I like to tinker on cars, work on motorcycles and cars.
Which then tells this court that you have the knowledge to take things apart in a car to make it not work.
I did put it back. I didn't realize that I didn't put the cap on proper. Maybe it wasn't tight enough and the car didn't start. I did not test it. That's the one mistake I did do.
You didn't test it?
I did not test it. I didn't realize the car wouldn't start.
So you thought you just went and tinkered in it, fixed some things, but you didn't go drive it?
I did not, Your Honor.
Y'all so obvious. And I wish people would stop coming up in We the People so that we the people could figure out your little relationship nonsense. If you're done with the relationship and it's just not working out, you just move on. You don't go do dirty things like take the car apart so she can't drive it and be crappy about it because you don't have a way to fight back. And I understand sometimes when people are angry, and maybe you're not a very confrontational person. I can tell from the way that you're behaving in the court today, you can barely advocate for yourself, make a story that makes sense. You're one of those people that don't like confrontation, don't like a whole bunch of arguing. I don't want to be bothered with it. I can see that. She then interpreted that as you being uncaring, you not being interested, you not being focused. I can see your relationship dynamic right now, but I don't want to be bothered with it because it's not any of my business. I'm just trying to understand why you would take a car apart, say it was for her safety, and then not try to test drive it. Once you did that, I believe, once you took on the responsibility of figuring out what's wrong with the car, you owed her a duty of care to make sure it was put back together correctly.
I feel that we own the car together, and I have every right to work on the car.
But that doesn't matter. You own it together, therefore you still owe her a duty of care. Even if you didn't own it together, if you knew she was about to go drive it, and you knew, what would a reasonable person do under those circumstances? That's what this court has to think about. What would a reasonable person do? A reasonable person would put things together and then make sure it started. Was this negligence the direct cause? Was it the cause of her losing her job? It actually was. If you never showed up, I would have showed up to my job. I wouldn't have never just not shown up. I would have found a ride somehow, some way. Somebody would have got me there. I don't care if I had to get on a bus. I don't care if I had to get on a bike. But regardless, that was your choice. And at the end of the day, he caused it. If I thought there was and I've been in those circumstances. Sean, has that happened to you where you get somewhere and all the ride shares, no cars available,
Absolutely.
no cars available? So I understand that does happen. And if no one could pick you up at that time, you were stuck. Mr. Paglia, you owe her $3,500. Judgment for the plaintiff. Court is adjourned.
All rise.
Judge Lake has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant is ordered to pay $3,500.
Any final thoughts for each other?
This is just a warning to any of the women that cross your path. Don't do it.
Carrie, you make it easy to walk away.
Please follow me this way.
Coming up,
She was sitting there reading them.
He was the love of my life.
I saw.
We had been dating for 5 years. I wasn't just gonna give it up in
Girl,
2 months.
you were depressed.
you're watching Emmy-nominated We the People with Judge Lauren Lake. Kayla Austin claims her ex-friend flung a box of her priceless keepsakes into a fire. Amy Kellerman says she was trying to help Ms. Austin get rid of letters from an old boyfriend and didn't know valuables were in the box.
Good day, everyone. This is the case of Austin versus Kellerman. Ms. Austin, you are suing Ms. Kellerman for $1,192. You say your ex-friend burned your box of priceless keepsakes. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Ms. Kellerman, you say the plaintiff told you there were only letters in that box.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'll start with you, plaintiff. What type of priceless keepsakes were in the box? And why in the world would she be burning them?
So I had broken up with my boyfriend of almost 5 years, and I was really, really going through it. And I told Amy that me and my boyfriend, we used to write these love letters to each other to keep the long distance more romantic. And she offered to help, which you would think is nice, but I just soon realized I was one of her projects she likes to take up. And she had this brilliant idea that we should spend Valentine's Day burning those letters after he dumped me. And so
Okay.
I had a shoebox. It had the letters in, and I was throwing them in one by one, and she was being really encouraging. And then things started getting a little bit crazy. We had finished a bottle of wine together, so I was trusting that this was a good idea, although I regret it now. And I was throwing the letters in, and then she was encouraging, and then she kept getting louder and louder, and then all of a sudden it got really out of hand, and she took the shoebox from me, dumped it into the fire. But what she didn't know was that my grandmother's necklace that she had given me before she passed away was in there, and she completely destroyed it.
Coming up,
When I grabbed the box, held on to it, and been
You
like,
grabbed
no.
it so quick. What was I supposed to do? You just grabbed it and you threw it down.
you're watching Emmy-nominated We the People with Judge Lauren Lake. We're back with the case of Kayla Austin, who brought Amy Kellerman to court for destroying family heirlooms.
It was a shoebox of my keepsakes, as well as her collection of $2 bills that she had spent her entire life collecting.
Oh my gosh, I love $2 bills.
Yeah, they're good luck, and she had given them all to me before she passed away.
Oh, that's
and they're
so
all
sad.
gone.
Miss Kellerman, so you say to her, maybe you need to just burn these letters. What, as a symbol?
Well, she was still reading them. Mind you, they had been broken up for 2 months, and she was sitting there reading them.
He was the love of my life.
I saw...
We had been dating for 5 years. I wasn't just gonna give it up in
Girl,
2 months.
you were depressed. Like, you needed
And it was
something.
making me feel better to like read his love. I didn't need to throw them all away.
Well, if you want to read the letters, that's your business. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not a crime.
Exactly.
So who made the suggestion maybe we should burn these because this is just too much? You
She did.
It was me, but...
But you just grabbed it.
Yes.
So it was no time for her to stop you.
Well, she didn't ever say anything. Like, she could have, when I grabbed the box, held on to it and been
You
like,
grabbed
no.
it so quick. What was I supposed to do? You just grabbed it and you threw it down.
Well,
Do you think before you went over and snatched the box, you should have said to her, can we just burn this whole box now? And let her say yes or no before you did that?
yes, ma'am. I was in the moment. We had had the wine. I felt really bad for her. It just made me so upset. I could have gone slower throughout the process. I think it was just the heat of the moment and like all of the emotions and everything that I acted so quickly.
People get over things differently. I don't think she was prepared to get rid of the letters. I think she was just listening to you and trying to figure out, and that's one of these things. Everybody's a life coach now. Everybody got all, especially online. Everybody has all the answers. You got to be careful of who you listen to out there.
Judge Lake's verdict when We the People returns. You're watching Emmy-nominated We the People with Judge Lauren Lake.
Well, I will say is I can see that if you're reading a letter and you're thinking about the letter and reading it, there is time enough for her to reach a box and just throw it. And what I wanted to see was, did her story match to the quickness and time? Not only did it match it, she also said, I guess I just did it and I didn't think about it before I did it. And then the fact that she's now going to be a firefighter and try to dig a ring out and dig this out, I realized now she realized, maybe I shouldn't have dumped all that stuff. Maybe I got caught up in emotion. And for that reason, I do believe you owe Miss Austin the $1,192. Now, I know you don't have proof of the 46 $2 bills. I'm going to have to take your word for that.
Thank you, Your
And
Honor.
I don't know, maybe I'm soft-hearted because I collect $2 bills. But at the end of the day, you can get back the value, but you're not going to get back the $2 bills, right? And that's really what's most important. Judgment for the plaintiff for $1,192. Court is adjourned.
All rise.
Judge Lake has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant is ordered to pay $1,192.
So,
Everyone in my house hates you now because they were on my side, just
girl,
like that
they all
judge.
talk about you and
I
you
don't-
moping in your room. Who do you think called me to come over and help you?
Please follow me this way.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.